James O'Neill had one job as the lowest-ranking cultural analyst in the human delegation. Don't cause an interstellar incident. He repeated this to himself every morning like a religious mantra. And then Princess Aeryn entered the Hall of Accord. Etherans didn't walk. They glided, like gravity was a polite suggestion they occasionally considered obeying. Her silver hair caught the palace lighting like a living halo, and her eyes, bright metallic violet, swept the room with the precision of a tactical scanner. James immediately dropped his data tablet. He bent down to grab it. Aeryn bent down at the same instant, and crack, their heads collided. A normal bump would have been embarrassing. This one was catastrophic. Because for one impossible second, just one, James heard someone else's thoughts, not his own, hers. Stay composed, it's just a diplomatic event. Do not stare at the human. Oh, stars, he's staring. Why is he staring? And at the exact same moment, Aeryn heard him. She's gorgeous. Oh no, stop thinking, why are my thoughts screaming? They jerked upright like they'd been electrocuted. Aeryn's pupils widened. Her ears lifted sharply. Every Etheran in the hall froze because Etherans knew that reaction. It meant one thing, mind link. James felt cold all over. No, wait, stop. Whatever this is, it was an accident, I swear. An Etheran general shot to his feet. The human has initiated a bonding request. James nearly died on the spot. A what? I didn't request anything, I hit my head. The hall erupted in whispers, gasps, horrified excitement. Young Etherans filmed discreetly. A historian whispered, "Record this. First human-initiated link with Etheran royalty." James flailed. IT initiated, it was a concussion. Aeryn stepped close, too close, and lowered her voice, trembling. "Human, did you just offer me? Declaration of intimate alignment." James blinked rapidly. "Oh, what now?" She swallowed, cheeks glowing faintly. In Etheran culture, accidental mind links do not exist. They are formed only under two circumstances, between high-ranking telepathic warriors, or, her voice dropped to a whisper, as an expression of marital intent. James felt his soul leave his body. I was picking up a tablet. But the palace's chief advisor had already stepped forward. "Princess Aeryn, do you accept the human's intimate declaration?" James screamed internally and externally. "There was no declaration. I declare nothing." Aeryn looked around, suddenly shy, suddenly flustered, and then met James's eyes. I accept." "You accept what? What exactly are you accepting?" The hall trembled with excitement. Someone fainted. Someone else started drafting an official statement. Aeryn gently took James's hand. To her, it was formality. To James, it was goodbye career, goodbye sanity. "James O'Neill," she announced softly, "you have triggered a 30-day compatibility evaluation. From this moment, we are aligned." Aligned, bonded, linked, dead. James felt very, very dead. "I would like," he croaked, "to request immediate unalignment." The advisor shook his head gravely. "Impossible. Once the link activates, the evaluation is mandatory." "I didn't activate anything. The floor activated my skull." Aeryn leaned closer, sounding apologetic yet oddly touched. "It's all right. Even if this was accidental, we will face it together." "Together," James whispered. "Princess, I don't even face buffets together. I panic eat. I'm not built for this." Someone from the Etheran Youth Council giggled. "He's adorable," she whispered. Her friend nodded. "The princess chose well." James pointed at them. "Stop narrating why panic." But it didn't matter. Delegates were already contacting their governments. Court scribes were sketching the historic union. The Etheran social feeds were exploding. Princess Aeryn, still holding James's hand, looked up at him with nervous determination. "Do not fear," she said softly. "This evaluation will help us understand each other. You will not be harmed." "Harmed, princess? I wasn't worried about being harmed. I was worried about being married by accident." Aeryn gave a tiny, startled laugh. And just like that, every witness in the hall thought the same thing. They're already bonding. James wanted to scream. No. He wanted to reboot. James O'Neill woke up with a headache shaped like interstellar humiliation. It wasn't the bump on his forehead, though that was impressive. It was the memory of the Etheran palace announcing to the galaxy that he had initiated a sacred alignment ritual with Princess Aeryn. He hadn't, obviously. He had simply dropped a tablet and rammed his skull into royalty. A notification chimed on his wrist console. 127 unread messages. Half were from diplomatic supervisors. The other half were from friends sending variations of, "Bro, what did you do? Marrying aliens now, respect." Tell me the princess is hot, please. James groaned. A polite chime sounded and the door slid open. Standing there was an Etheran attendant, tall, serene, and somehow judgmental, holding a tray. Good morning, prospective consort. James choked on nothing. I know, stop calling me that. The princess requests your presence in the East Garden, the attendant said, bowing. Your evaluation period begins today. My what? The compatibility evaluation, 30 days. He paused for their alignment. I didn't align anything, but the attendant was already gone. The East Garden, where anxiety blossoms. The East Garden was impossibly beautiful, floating flowers, bioluminescent vines, shimmering air currents. Etherans didn't do simple gardens. They did we found a way to grow light itself. Princess Aeryn stood near a crystalline fountain, her posture straight but her expression unmistakably nervous. When she saw James, her shoulders relaxed. James O'Neill, she said softly, thank you for coming. Princess, I am begging you. Tell them I tell them we didn't, whatever that thing was. Aeryn winced. I tried. Tried. They explained that a mind link cannot occur unless there is intent. Intent? My intent was to not die from embarrassment. Aeryn stepped closer, lowering her voice. James, Etherans don't believe in accidental telepathy. We evolved with strict mental boundaries. Only deep emotional focus or deliberate connection can create a link. So when it happened, it looked intentional, James finished. Aeryn nodded, mortified. Great, James whispered. So my brain is guilty of crimes I didn't authorize. Aeryn's expression softened. I know this is difficult for you, but I promise we will handle the evaluation together. She hesitated, and I wanted to check if you felt anything strange last night, after the link. James raised an eyebrow. Strange like what? Aeryn blushed. Etheran blushing was subtle, silver flecks brightening on her cheeks. If the link is genuine, even faintly, you may feel impressions from me. Emotions, echoes, presence. James thought about it. Did you feel like someone was worried and pacing at 3 a.m.? Aeryn froze. Yes. Yeah, that was me. I chew on anxiety like it's gum. Her cheeks brightened more. So the link is slightly active. James sighed. Fantastic. My anxiety is now a shared cultural exchange. The council interrogation, ACA. James's personal hell. Before James could continue panicking, 3 Etheran advisors appeared, each carrying tablets and wearing expressions ranging from mild disapproval to actively concerned for the fate of civilization. Princess Aeryn, Advisor Thalen began, we require confirmation of your acceptance. I confirmed it yesterday, she said calmly. We require a second confirmation to ensure clarity. James raised a hand. Hi, hello, small question. What happens if she unconfirms? The advisors turned to him like he'd asked how to overthrow the government. Advisor Myra cleared her throat. If the princess withdraws, it implies your declaration was one-sided. This would result in formal charges. Charges for thinking too loudly. For linking too loudly, she corrected. Aeryn stepped protectively between James and the advisors. That is unnecessary. The link was mutual. James whispered it was. Aeryn whispered back, please stop saying that out loud. Advisor Thalen scribbled something. We must now begin phase 1, behavioral observation. James paled. Of who? Both of you, Myra said. Your interactions, your compatibility, your emotional synchronization. Aeryn offered an apologetic smile. We have to spend most of the day together. Define most. From sunrise until the 4th moonrise. James stared at her. Princess, that's 19 hours. Yes, it is the standard courtship evaluation. 19 hours of me. Do they want you to fail? Aeryn giggled, actually giggled. Etherans rarely giggled. Advisors looked horrified, the walk of humiliation. As they left the garden, James noticed every pair of Etheran eyes following them. Whispering. Recording, evaluating. One young noble whispered loudly. He's shorter than I expected for a human consort. James muttered, I'm average height. Another said, his aura is chaotic, cute though. I am right here. Aeryn leaned in. They're just curious. They're judging my aura cuteness like it's a livestock auction. Well, they do find your panic endearing. James stopped walking. Do you find my panic endearing? Aeryn's silver eyes softened. A little. James blinked. That was unexpected and dangerous and extremely distracting. The first evaluation task, holding hands. They arrived at a small observation platform. Advisor Myra gestured. For phase 1, we require you to hold hands. James froze. Why? To measure your resonance stability. Aeryn offered her hand. It's harmless. James took it. A soft pulse of warmth traveled up his arm, not heat, emotion, her emotion. She felt nervous, hopeful, embarrassed. Aeryn gasped softly. You felt that. You felt mine. She nodded. What did it feel like? James whispered. Like static, but warm and human. The advisors scribbled frantically. Resonance detected. Alignment viable. James had faced crisis simulations, xenolinguistic exams, and one very traumatic alien cuisine tasting session involving fermented starworm jelly. None of that prepared him for holding hands for scientific analysis, while 3 Etheran advisors observed like ornithologists studying an exotic bird. After 10 excruciating minutes, Advisor Thalon finally declared, "You may release each other." James yanked his hand back like he'd grabbed a live wire, which honestly was accurate, because he didn't just feel Aeryn's physical touch, he felt her. The warmth, the nerves, the faint, unexpected burst of happiness when their fingers laced. He refused to think about it. Aeryn, however, looked quietly shaken, and not in a bad way. "James," she said carefully, "your mind felt close. Close like intimate, or close like, oh no, we're doomed." "Yes." Before he could respond, Advisor Myra stepped forward. "Phase 2, emotional sync testing." "That sounds like therapy with homework," James muttered. "It is far more rigorous," Myra said. "Princess Aeryn will project an emotion. You will attempt to identify it." James blinked. "Project as in telepathically." "Yes," Myra said pleasantly. "Begin." Aeryn looked at him, visibly embarrassed. "I'll make it gentle." "Please do," James whispered. "My brain has a daily limit." She closed her eyes. A faint pulse spread through the air, soft, warm, and shimmering. James felt a flutter, like warmth in the chest. A feeling he recognized from listening to music he loved or watching someone smile at him unexpectedly. Happiness, he guessed. Aeryn opened her eyes, surprised. "Yes." Advisor Myra scribbled furiously. "This is remarkable. Cross-species emotional perception on the first attempt." James tried not to panic. He failed. "Okay, cool, great. We unlocked Feel Each Other DLC. What's the refund policy?" Aeryn tried not to laugh. The advisors tried not to look horrified that she almost did. The lunch of diplomatic doom. By midday, James felt mentally microwaved. The emotional sync tests continued. Aeryn projected curiosity, right arrow, James guessed confusion. Aeryn projected embarrassment, right arrow, James guessed mild nausea. Aeryn projected affection, right arrow, James panicked and pretended he felt nothing. Advisor Thalon eventually declared, "We will break for nourishment." Etheran lunches were elegant, floating arrangements of shimmering dishes that looked like art projects. James poked something purple. "It's not alive, is it?" "No," Aeryn assured him. "Not anymore." "Not anymore, that's not comforting." She laughed again, the soft, reluctant kind. James felt it through the link like sunlight brushing against his ribs. He nearly dropped his fork. Aeryn noticed. Her ears lifted slightly. "Did you feel that?" "Feel what?" "My amusement." James froze, then whispered, horrified, "Oh God, I felt your laughter." Advisor Myra gasped like she'd witnessed a miracle. "Remarkable, emotional cross-response in real time." Aeryn looked at James, cheeks glowing silver. "You felt it warmly." He hesitated. Yes, it was warm." She looked away quickly, trying to hide the smile tugging at her lips. And that, amazingly, was the moment James realized something terrifying. The link was getting stronger. The Queen's interference. Just as James was mentally drafting a resignation letter addressed to literally anyone in human command, a palace guard approached. "The Queen requests your presence." Aeryn stiffened. "My mother already." "Yes, she wishes to evaluate the human." James paled. "The Queen, as in the ruler of Etheran Prime, the woman who commands fleets, that Queen." "Yes," the guard said, blinking. "Is there another?" James grabbed Aeryn's arm. "Princess, I barely survived talking to your advisors. I cannot talk to a woman who could vaporize me with a thought." "She won't vaporize you." "That's not reassuring." Aeryn sighed. "She just wants to understand your intentions." "I have no intentions." The guard nodded sympathetically. "That is exactly what an unsteady suitor would say." "I'm not a suitor." Aeryn exhaled, gently placing her hand on his wrist. Instantly warmth pulsed through the bond, soft reassurance, steady presence. "James, I'll be with you the whole time." He looked at her. She wasn't teasing. She wasn't being polite. She was genuinely trying to calm him. "Thank you," he whispered. Aeryn's expression softened. "You're welcome." And the advisors wrote, "Emotional convergence confirmed." James wanted to scream. The Queen's chamber. The Queen of Etheran Prime sat on a floating throne, surrounded by panels of hovering light. Her gaze was sharp, ancient, and far too perceptive. James bowed so low he almost face-planted. "Rise," she said. "Let me see the human who aligned with my daughter." James rose like a malfunctioning robot. "Your Majesty, I swear I didn't align anything. My head collided with your daughter's head, and my thoughts escaped without permission, like emotional burping." Aeryn pinched the bridge of her nose. The Queen tilted her head. "You speak honestly." "A pleasant surprise." James blinked. That was a compliment. "Indeed." Aeryn whispered, "My mother values bluntness." The Queen continued, "Tell me, human, do you care for my daughter?" James nearly choked. I care that she's..." James left the Queen's chamber feeling like he'd just walked through an emotional minefield wearing magnetic boots. Aeryn walked beside him, silent but tense, until they rounded a corner. Only then did she speak. "You told my mother you cared." Her voice was quiet, too careful. James froze mid-step. Yes, I mean I do, not in a wedding bells way, more like a please don't let diplomats murder me way." Aeryn blinked. "That was not the emotion I felt." James cleared his throat. "Right, because you felt it." That fact alone made his stomach somersault. Aeryn clasped her hands behind her back, nervous, formal, elegant. "What I felt was sincere." "I'm a sincere person," James protested. "Horribly sincere, terrifyingly sincere, sometimes accidentally sincere." "You were not accidentally sincere," she corrected softly. James made a noise somewhere between a groan and a dying goose. The palace rumors begin. As they walked, Etheran nobles peeked from balconies, whispered behind shimmering curtains, pretended to check holographic panels while blatantly spying. "My stars," one whispered. "They are walking together." "They're breathing in sync," another said. "That's a clear alignment sign." "No," said a third. "Actual alignment is when their ears move together." James's ears did not move. But Aeryn's did, and unfortunately her ears perked the exact moment he thought, "Wow, she looks beautiful when she does that." Aeryn slowly turned to him. "You thought something." "I did not," he lied immediately. "You did," she insisted. "I felt it." "Nope, must have been a misfire or gas." Aeryn narrowed her eyes. "James, what did you think?" "Nothing. It was not nothing. I plead the human Fifth Amendment. We do not have that. I invoke it anyway." Aeryn stepped closer, voice a whisper. "James, if you felt something sincere, I won't be offended." James wanted to sink into the floor and become a decorative tile. "Okay, fine," he muttered. "I thought your ears are cute." Aeryn froze. Her ears twitched, then twitched again. Then she smiled, bright, unexpected, devastating. "Cute." James covered his face with both hands. "Kill me now, immediately, please." The link intensifies. Advisor Myra found them mid-crisis. Excellent, emotional syncing is progressing. She tapped her tablet. "Now we proceed to phase 3. James paled. "There are phases beyond emotional humiliation." "Of course," Myra said. "Phase 3 is shared stimulus response." "That sounds like torture." "It is typically pleasant," Myra said. "That sounds worse." Aeryn gently touched his arm. "James, it's harmless. We simply experience something together. The link amplifies the reaction." "What kind of something?" "Sense, music, light, warmth." James exhaled. "Okay, not terrible." Myra activated a shimmering orb. "Princess, initiate with a calming stimulus, something personally meaningful." Aeryn hesitated, then selected something on the panel. Soft bioluminescent particles drifted out, carrying a faint scent, cool, floral, strangely nostalgic. James blinked. "What is that?" Aeryn's voice softened. "A flower from my childhood garden." The link pulsed, and suddenly, he saw it. For less than a second, James saw a memory that wasn't his. A little Etheran girl laughing beneath crystal trees, sunlight reflecting off silver hair, tiny hands reaching toward glowing flowers. He gasped. Aeryn stepped back, shocked. "You saw it. You projected it." "I didn't mean to," she said, flustered. "Memories normally don't pass through until far later in the bond." "Later as in how much later?" Aeryn whispered, after deep emotional connection. James needed to sit down. "This link hates me personally." The advisors scribbled wildly. The first public MSUP. Later that afternoon, Aeryn and James were required to walk through the Hall of Voices. A long, echoing chamber where Etheran citizens visited to observe the princess's developing alignment. It was, in James's opinion, the worst tourist attraction imaginable. Families, scholars, nobles, and at least one confused toddler all turned to stare when he entered. One noblewoman clasped her hands dramatically. "Oh, his aura is blushing. James, AURAS can't blush. Aeryn, James, please lower your voice. James, I am calmly panicking. Aeryn, that is not a thing. James accidentally thought she's adorable when she scolds me." Aeryn choked on air. The entire hall gasped. One woman whispered he thought she was adorable. Another whispered back, "This is better than the Palace Drama Channel." Aeryn whispered urgently, "James, stop thinking things. How thinking is my brain's default setting." The link pulsed again, a warm flicker, a tiny echo. Aeryn froze. "You felt that too, didn't you?" James swallowed hard. "Yes." She exhaled shakily. "James, we are sinking too quickly. This shouldn't be happening on day 2. "You say that like it's my fault." "It is your fault," she hissed. "Oh good, add that to the list." A loud Etheran elder stepped forward. "Princess Aeryn, human James, your resonance is unusually high. We request a demonstration." James blanched. "A demonstration of what?" "Affection," the elder replied. Aeryn turned red. James didn't sleep that night. Not because the Etheran bed was weirdly soft and hummed at him occasionally. Not because he was terrified of being executed for accidental telepathy crimes. No, he didn't sleep because every time he closed his eyes he felt something. Not his something, Aeryn's something, a flicker of curiosity, a ripple of worry, a faint pulse of warmth. At one point he sat up so fast he almost concussed himself again. Nope, I'm not doing emotional time-sharing, absolutely not. But the link didn't care what he wanted. It hummed anyway, the next morning. The incident. Day 3 began with disaster, which James decided was practically tradition by now. He entered the palace's grand refectory, an elegant dining hall filled with floating dishes and dignitaries, and all activity stopped. Because Aeryn was already there, and she smiled when she saw him, not politely, not diplomatically, a real smile. Etherans gasped audibly. One whispered, "She never does that." Another dropped a spoon. James tried to play it cool. He failed. His brain thought loudly, "Oh no, she's so pretty in the morning light." Aeryn inhaled sharply. "You thought something again." James glared at the ceiling. "Brain, for once in your life, stop." But it was too late. Half the room had heard Aeryn's reaction. The other half pretended they hadn't while taking notes. Aeryn approached him, ears lifted in subtle embarrassment. "James, please try not to think direct compliments while around the court." "I'm not thinking them on purpose, they just spawn." Before she could answer, Advisor Thalon strode over. "Princess Aeryn, human James, your schedule for today includes a joint interview with the Council of Harmonious Union." James froze mid-panic. "A joint what?" "It's a panel dedicated to studying cross-species romantic alignments." "I am not in a romantic alignment." Thalon checked his tablet. "According to palace poll results, 92% of Etheran citizens disagree with you." "Why are they taking polls about my life?" Aeryn leaned close. "We can skip it if you're uncomfortable." But before James could accept salvation, Thalon added, "The Queen insisted." James deflated. "Oh, great, perfect, yes, let's disappoint the space monarch, that'll go well." The interview of doom. The Council of Harmonious Union turned out to be 7 elderly Etherans seated in a semicircle, all staring at James with polite but predatory curiosity. Aeryn sat beside him, posture perfect. James sat beside her, posture recently electrocuted. Counselor Verith began. "Princess Aeryn, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the human's initial declaration?" James whispered, 0, PUT 0. Aeryn hesitated. 7. James whipped toward her, 7. A faint blush dusted her cheeks. "You were sincere." "I was concussed. And sincere." The council scribbled dramatically. Counselor Rayla leaned forward. "And you, human James, what attracted you first to Princess Aeryn?" James's soul left his body. "Nothing. I wasn't attracted. Okay, I was, but not like romantic attraction. It was more like scientific awe. Like, wow, look at the glowing alien, not wow, I want to bond. I mean, I didn't want to bond, not that kind of bond. He shut his mouth. Aeryn slowly turned to him. "James." "Yes, you are spiraling." "Yes, please stop." He inhaled through his nose. Long, slow, controlled, the council wrote, Princess exhibits calming effect, alignment stabilizing. James nearly fainted, the emotional spike. Halfway through the interview, something even worse happened. Verith asked, do you two feel emotionally aware of each other? James opened his mouth to deny everything, but then, Aeryn felt a spike of panic from him. He felt her feel it. She felt him feel her feel it. Feedback loop. Both gasped. The council nearly ascended to a higher plane of excitement. It's begun, one whispered, the resonance spiral. On day 3, James grabbed Aeryn's arm. What is a resonance spiral? Aeryn's voice dropped. It's an involuntary emotional synchronization, extremely intimate, uncommon. James inhaled sharply. Uncommon like rare. Uncommon like only happens with strong compatibility. Every council member was now writing like their lives depended on it. James whispered, we're doomed. Aeryn whispered, probably, but she didn't pull her arm away. The crisis. As they left the meeting, a young Etheran noble, Severin, stepped forward rudely, blocking their path. So this is the human stirring all the rumors, he sneered. The princess must be very lonely to accept such a primitive mind. James blinked, primitive. Aeryn's ears snapped backward. Severin, step aside. The noble smiled condescendingly. Do you truly intend to complete the alignment with this creature? His mind is chaotic, his aura is unstable, his thoughts leak everywhere. James raised a hand. Hey, I'm doing my best. Severin ignored him. You deserve better, a partner of status, intellect, and dignity. Aeryn stepped forward, eyes blazing. My choice is not yours to judge. Severin scoffed. This human is beneath you. A pulse of heat shot through the link. James looked at Aeryn. She was furious, not embarrassed, not flustered, furious on his behalf. Aeryn, he whispered, it's okay. No, James, she said sharply, it is not. Her voice carried across the hall. You will not insult him. Not in my presence, and not because he is human. His worth is not for you to evaluate. Severin's face paled. The entire hall fell silent, and James, his heart pounding, felt something he absolutely did not want to admit. He felt proud that she defended him, proud that she chose to, proud that she saw him. The link pulsed warmly. Aeryn felt it. She turned to him, soft, breathless, startled, her cheeks glowing faintly. You felt that, she whispered. I didn't mean to, he whispered back. I know, she said, but she smiled anyway, the cliffhanger. Before either of them could speak, a palace guard ran down the corridor. Princess Aeryn, human James, the queen summons you immediately. It's urgent. James had never been summoned by a queen before, unless you counted the time his aunt called herself queen of the backyard barbecue and demanded more ketchup. This was different. This was the ruler of Etheran Prime requesting his presence because a noble family claimed he was unworthy of aligning with her daughter, which was ridiculous. He wasn't unworthy. He was catastrophically unworthy, and everyone knew it. Aeryn led him through the palace at a near sprint, her silver robes swirling behind her, her grip on his hand firm and unyielding. Aeryn, he panted, slow down, I have human lungs, they are weak, delicate sacs. We don't have time, she said sharply. Time for what? My execution, my public humiliation, my televised exile. Aeryn shot him a look, possibly. Great, fantastic. They reached the Hall of Edicts, a towering chamber filled with glowing panels of ancient laws. Etherans gathered in clusters, whispering. At the center stood the queen, radiating calm like a living storm. Severin and his family knelt before her, heads bowed dramatically, as if starring in a very dramatic opera. James hated them already. A court herald announced, the petitioners claim the human James O'Neill is an unsuitable match and demand dissolution of the ongoing alignment. James whispered, can they do that? Aeryn whispered, only if I agree. James nodded. Okay, so we just tell everyone the alignment isn't real and go home. Aeryn did not respond. James blinked. Aeryn. She squeezed his hand once tightly. The queen raised a hand and silence swept the chamber. Princess Aeryn, human James, you stand before us to answer the petition. Do you wish to dissolve the alignment? That was it, the way out, the clean escape. James could finally go home, pretend this never happened, and stop accidentally telepathically complimenting a princess. He opened his mouth. Yes, we. Aeryn spoke over him. No. James nearly sprained something turning toward her. No. No as in no. No as in yes. What kind of no? I need clarity here. Aeryn ignored him completely. This alignment is not a mistake, she said, voice steady, and I do not consent to dissolving it. A wave of shocked murmurs rippled across the hall. Severin stumbled to his feet. Princess, you cannot be serious. He's chaotic. Aeryn's eyes sharpened. Yes, and honest and kind and stronger than you realize. James pointed at himself. I am news to me. Aeryn continued, voice rising. Severin, your family judged him before even meeting him. But I have seen him, felt him, and he has never tried to manipulate me, impress me, or use me for status. He treats me like a person, not a crown. James blinked hard. Severin sputtered. He is beneath your station. Aeryn took a step forward. And yet somehow he is the only one whose emotions resonate with mine. The entire hall fell silent. The Queen's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. Princess, are you claiming the resonance is mutual? Aeryn hesitated only a fraction of a second. Yes. James felt his soul explode. What? I never said that. Aeryn turned to him gently. You didn't have to. Heat surged in James's chest. Not physical, not emotional. Link surge. A bright pulse radiated between them, visible to every Etheran in the room. Gasps echoed across the hall. Severin fell to his knees. The link, it's active on day 3. The Queen stood slowly, regal and towering. Show me. Aeryn reached for James's hand. He grabbed hers before he could think. Another mistake, or maybe not. The moment their fingers touched, a wave of shimmering light burst from their joined hands, cascading outward, flickering across the air like ripples on water. The Queen stepped closer, eyes widening. Emotional sync, sensory bleed, and resonance feedback. This is not a false alignment. This is rare, extremely rare. James whispered, is rare good or bad? For you, Aeryn whispered, both. The Queen raised a hand. Severin's petition is denied. The alignment stands. Severin collapsed in defeated, melodramatic despair. James sagged in relief. But before he could fully exhale, the Queen added, however, with resonance this strong, the alignment may accelerate. You must decide whether to continue, and soon. James choked. Accelerate like faster bonding, faster telepathy, faster emotional disasters. Aeryn turned to him, anxious but hopeful. Yes, faster everything. The Queen stepped back to her throne. Princess Aeryn, human James, you have 3 choices. 1, continue the alignment as planned, 30 days, slow progression, standard bonding. 2, accelerate the alignment, 7 days, intense bonding. High risk, high compatibility. 3, dissolve the alignment now. No consequences, no bond, no connection. James swallowed hard. 3 choices, 1 safe, 1 terrifying, 1 irreversible. Aeryn stared at him, silver eyes shimmering, voice trembling. James, what do you want? He wanted safety, he wanted logic, he wanted to go home, but what he said was, I don't want to lose this. Aeryn's breath hitched. The link pulsed warm, bright, alive. He stepped closer. I don't know what this is yet, but I want to find out. Her eyes softened, glowing like starlight on water. Then we continue. James nodded. Yes, we continue. Aeryn reached up, trembling, and touched his cheek, gentle, hesitant.